What's going on YouTube? Flashy here, and welcome to the first ever episode of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Best Gun Guides. Today we're going to be looking at the Kilo 141, which is the first assault rifle you unlock in this game, and it actually happens to be my favorite gun in the game as of right now. As you can see, my Kilo is max level. I've pretty much been running with it exclusively since the game came out, so I kind of want to show you guys what my attachments are, my kind of thought process behind how I want to set up the weapon and things like that. Again, there is hundreds and hundreds of different ways that you can combine different attachments and create this weapon how you want to make it for your own. This is just my most consistent setup. You know, maybe you might not agree with everything, but you might learn a thing or two, and you might find a different way to use the weapon, which is what I love about this game. There's so many different ways you can customize every single weapon, and again, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Kilo, so let's get right into it. First, I do not rock a muzzle. We go right into barrel, and I use the Singard Arms 19.8-inch Prowler barrel, and unfortunately, you actually don't unlock this barrel until, I don't know, I think like halfway through the levels. So up until you unlock the Prowler barrel, you could pretty much run with the suppressor. Any of the three that are on here are perfectly fine. You will find that some of your long-range engagements get a little annoying, but at the same time, it's still a really good placeholder. But once you get the Prowler barrel, you definitely want to pick it up. You get damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, and this is pretty much what brings the entire weapon together, this first attachment that we put on right here. Because the way I utilize the Kilo is I want an up-close Kilo, and I also want those long-range of sights that are on this game. I want to be able to take those down as well. And putting on the Prowler barrel kind of gives you both of those at the same time. The bullet velocity is better for those up-close sprays, because obviously the bullets are traveling faster, they're hitting your target quicker. The damage range and recoil control, this is all for those long to medium range medium to long range engagements that you find, you know, the freaking cross map. You see the guy's name tag just poking his head over a wall and you got to take him out. That's where the recoil control and damage range come in clutch, because you know you're not going to hit them 2 or 3 times and they're going to run away. You are going to put your sights on the dude and you're going to just take him out completely. And also the bullet velocity does help at range as well. Get your bullets to hit your opponent quicker than he hits you. Always definitely a good sign. We don't rock the laser. I don't really find myself hip firing much, and if I do, I'm just spraying and praying, and I really don't find that a laser is necessary. In terms of the optic, this is where, you know, it's personal preference. There's 21 different optics in this game. I'm not gonna lie, up until like level 60, I think, I pretty much strictly use the operator reflex sight. This is personally my favorite. It acts as a red dot. It's got a little bit more magnification than a regular red dot, but as I started to go through all the optics, testing them all out, I found that the optics mini reflex, this is just like your standard classic red dot sight, which I personally like a lot. I do see a lot of people going for the reflex sight here, the AIM-OP. And again, this is all just personal preference, what kind of magnification you want. I wouldn't do anything too long range, like the variable zoom sniper scope. I don't think you need anything like this. Any of like the ACOG styles, I don't think you need. Thermal, I haven't tested yet. Maybe it's good in realism, but again, I'm just more of a classic red dot on my assault rifle kind of guy. Again, this is completely personal preference. Whatever you can hit your shots with, you want to use here. But maybe stick with like some of the more closer ranges to medium range scopes. Again, the reflex sight, the first sight you get is great, and then the mini reflex is also amazing. But a couple people I know are rocking with the hollow sight. This is all just preference. But again, solo zero reflex sight. And no stock. I know a lot of people do like a stock. For me personally, I prefer to have a sight instead of a stock. But I think this is where you can change them out. So if you like the iron sights on this gun, which I'm not gonna lie, the iron sights are pretty freaking good on this thing. Oh no, it doesn't even show it. The iron sights are pretty good on this thing. Actually, maybe we can do preview weapon and you can kind of get a look and a feel. Yeah, so the iron sights actually aren't too bad on this weapon. They kind of remind me of, I don't know, maybe like a Scar or something like that from an older game. But again, I just really like the red dot. I like being pinpoint accurate. If you don't want an optic and you like the iron sights, definitely go for a stock. I think the Forged Tac Ultralight is good because it gives you that really good strafing speed. And maybe if you want like to bring the gun up to your eye as you aim it in closer, go for the close quarter stock. You can really do whatever you want here. But again, I just prefer having the regular base stock, but I want that optic. Next, we're going to go with another crucial component of this whole build. I think the entire build of the Kilo honestly relies on the barrel and the underbarrel, because like I said, you're going to be engaging those medium to long ranges a lot. Like when you're holding a headquarters or something like that, you're just going to be holding your position and just staring out a window, just picking everybody off, and you want to get them fast and with minimal recoil. And I think that's where the underbarrel comes in super clutch. I started out with the Commando foregrip. It is the first one you get. It's not too bad. Honestly, any of the foregrips work. They all don't really fluctuate the stats too much. It's kind of just personal preference. I like the Commando foregrip. After a little while, I started using the Merc foregrip, which your movement speed is a little bit less quick when you're walking and aiming down sights, but again, you're not really doing that much. If you're engaging a long-range target, you're going to be just, you know, hunkered down, maybe mounting your weapon or something like that. And if you're up close, you're going to be spraying and praying. So, I don't know. It doesn't really affect you that much. Tactical foregrip is really good. It does decrease your movement speed, but it gives you a lot of recoil control. It's definitely one of the better ones, but I'd be rocking with the Ranger. The Ranger foregrip just completely blows accuracy and range out the water, and it makes this gun an absolute beast. An absolute beast at range, which I like a lot. Again, you're getting that minus aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed, so you're pulling your gun up slower, and when you aim down sight, you're walking a bit slower, but if anything, that'll just help your recoil. You're not just going to be walking really fast and spraying all over the place. You're going to hold your shots, you're going to hold your ground. Again, operator foregrip, same deal here. It's decent, you know, if you have it, you can put it on. But go for any of the foregrips, really. Whichever ones you like. If you like, you know, kind of the stick variations of them, or kind of the hold up on the barrels variations, whatever is better for you. Again, I'm rocking with the Ranger foregrip. I find that this gives you the best recoil and aiming stability, which pairs beautifully with the barrel. Again, like I'm saying, we're going for these long range, quick time to kills, cross map. And even when we're at the close range, it's not bad because we move on to ammunition where we have 60 round magazines. You got 60 rounds in this thing. It shoots pretty quickly, I'm not gonna lie. As you can see down here, the fire rate is actually pretty quick. Down here is the fire rate. It's actually pretty high speed, so I wouldn't recommend going the 100 drums. That just makes you walk super clunky, and to be honest, you don't really need 100 round drums. Hey, if you want to do it, go for it, but I stick with the nice 60. I mean, the difference between 50 and 60 isn't really anything crazy, I feel like, but having those extra 10 bullets does give you an extra kill here and there. So I run the 60 round mag. And that, again, that pairs with my up-close spraying, right? So when I'm running into a headquarters and I need to just lay as many bullets into the building as I can to try to take out any enemies in there, we got the 60-round mag to just hip fire. The 60-round mag does pair really well with the laser. I guess these three are kind of interchangeable right here, right? With the laser, the optic, and the stock, they all kind of pair a little bit. It all depends what you want. Do you want the stock? Do you want the laser sight? Do you want the optic? Again, the 60-round mag is good for all of them, but at the same time, you know, you have a 60-round mag with a laser sight, you're hip firing everybody, nobody stands a chance. The rear grip, I don't opt for. I feel like it just doesn't do enough. You know, like it does give you an increase in stats and things like that, but I don't know. I feel like having the grip and having the barrel are much better for that. And then we go into the underbarrel foregrip. Sorry, the underbarrel foregrip and the regular barrel. No rear grip needed here. I think the back end of this gun operates fine. The stock and the default grip are really good. But then we move into the perk where this is pretty much up to you. Again, this is kind of like the optic, whichever one you really like. I love sleight of hand. I'm an old school Call of Duty player. I love sleight of hand, you know. There's nothing more frustrating than having to reload and getting killed. So getting that increased reload also helps you with getting those big kill feeds. You know, if you're spraying down 3 people, you get the quick reload. You spray down the next 1 or 2 and you hold the headquarters, something like that. Just having a faster reload, I feel like there's no cons. Like, look, literally there's 0 cons listed even in the sleight of hand category. You could go FMJ. FMJ is always a good option. You are spraying through surfaces a lot more than you think. You might think, oh, I'm never, you know, wall banging anybody. But in this game, like, there's little things, like maybe like a tire or like the corner of a wall will be sticking out, and you hit that. FMJ does really help for situations like that. I do also like Recon a lot. Recon is not bad. You know, that see enemy nameplates at a greater distance. Again, we are trying to control those long ranges and those medium ranges on maps, those long lines of sights. So having Recon just kind of spot out the enemies a little bit easier. Definitely worth your while. Fully loaded, again, if you just like want max starting ammo. This is really up to you. I wouldn't recommend burst. I don't think burst is really necessary. Fast melee, again, I don't think you're going to be up close and personal, but maybe you are. Fast melee is an option. Mo money, this is classic. Just get your XP bonuses, whatever you want like that. But yeah, I think if you're going to go with a perk, go Recon, FMJ, or Sleight of Hand. Those will definitely be your solid choices. But I think that about wraps up my thought process on the Kilo. You know, like I said, I wanted a class because I play a lot of headquarters, and in headquarters you're covering long lines of sight, but at the same time you are just running headfirst into the enemy into a building. So I needed something to kind of compensate for both, and I feel like the combination of all this gun is really powerful. I mean, the damage on this gun is absolutely beast. So you only have to get a few shots into someone, whether you're at long range or short range, which I really like about it. There's not a lot of damage fall off, again, because we have the Prowler. So we get a lot of range, we get a lot of damage, and we also have 60-round mags to spray into the enemies. So that's my overall Kilo 141 setup. Moving on into the kind of, you know, the background of the class. I always rock the secondary weapon of the M19 or the 357. It kind of just depends on my mood. But I do really like the M19. I feel like the X16 and the 1911 don't really shoot as quick as I want them to. The pistols in this game kind of do feel like BB guns, and I try not to use them, but I found the M19 does come in clutch in those certain situations where you got to swap to your pistol and take someone out. Perks, we're using EOD, Ghost, and Battle Hardened. I play a lot of headquarters, so these might be headquarters specific, but EOD obviously gives you the reduced damage from claymores, C4s, all that stuff. Basically, everything that people use in headquarters. So, you know, it helps hold down the headquarters. Maybe you're trying to defend, maybe you're trying to attack. Whatever the case is, people are throwing nades, people are dropping claymores. EOD really helps. Ghost, I've just been using because the UAV is really good in this game, honestly. I find that people are using the UAV a lot. That's why the silencer is really good. If you heard me mention before you unlock the Prowler barrel, it's pretty fine to use an SMG because you're not going to be able to take those long-range fights, but when you're up close, you're going to have a lot better time because nobody's going to see you on the UAV, obviously. So Ghost is just all-around good. You know, I'm trying to stay alive out there while I'm playing headquarters, trying to carry the team. And then Battle Hardened is reduced strength of enemy flash, stun, and EMP. Again, I play a lot of headquarters, so I rock with the Battle Hardened because people are always throwing stuns and flashes, and they're amazing in this game. The special grenades in this game are fantastic. So anything to kind of reduce the strength of those is what I opt for. So as you can see, it's kind of just like a stay alive perk selection. In terms of lethal and tactical, again, this is all personal preference here. I love Semtexes from the days of Modern Warfare 2. I think Semtexes are great. Getting a stick on someone is so satisfying. They're powerful. They're kind of hard to react to if you don't notice them right away. You can put them on walls. They're not regular frags. They're gonna bounce off a wall and like fall down the stairs or something. Wherever you throw it, that's where it's gonna go. And then tactical, I'm usually more of a stun person, but in this game, I feel like flashes are really good because they just make the entire screen white. Like you can't see anything. So if you get a flash into a headquarters building, you're pretty much guaranteed with your 60-round mag to kill everybody. But overall, that's been my go-to loadout. Honestly, I've been rocking with this, like I said, since the game came out. I've done really well with it. I've had 40, 50 kill games, you know, under 10 deaths, things like that, get kill streaks, all that good stuff. The perks, you can do whatever you want with. Again, switching over to Scavenger if you're trying to go for those longer kill streaks. Quick Fix is really good because it gives you your health regen back, which is super clutch. Maybe you want an extra Semtex, you can go Shrapnel, something like that. But I use EOD, Ghost, and Battle Hardened. I feel like that's what helps me stay alive the most out there. And that is the Kilo 141. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments down below what attachments you guys use on this weapon and if you guys have found that you had success with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.